This is the story of two single friends who realized if there's one thing single people love to do, it's to talk about relationships. My name's Kristine.
And my name's Román.
And we're your single friends.
Let's go!
Dad dance, dad dance.
Hi, everybody.
Woo! Welcome back.
So, what a day. It's such a good, productive day.
Yeah, it's the mics.
I know. It's a mics and it's a beautiful day outside. So, I don't know where you're at, but as long as you don't want that Rona, if you don't worry about that Rona, go out there and enjoy the day if you're listening to this. I don't know when this is getting released, so maybe it might be a rainy day, but enjoy the rain then. Wash the pain away. And if it's sun, let the sun guide you up, baby.
Yeah, and if you're wondering how we record these things, because we just talk in like we assume we don't know when you're going to hear it, because we don't. We pretty much do a bunch of recordings in one day. So it's a very long day of talking.
It is. It's called efficiency. No, it's not too bad. We try to stagger them, but sometimes...
Whatever gets the job done.
Exactly.
But today, for this episode, we are going to talk about public... Well, I don't know how you title this correctly, but being public with your relationship. Like, not just like, oh, this is my man, like blasting your shit over social media or in life, I guess, in general.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I feel like when I was younger, I totally would have been like that person posting the fairy tales of my relationship, if I had one. And
Womp womp.
and I definitely would have posted the heartbreak of the relationship. I've definitely been heartbroken, but I never posted it because it wasn't like a relationship to post about. So I had like that pride. You know what I mean?
You were the side chick or something?
No, it's just it wasn't exclusive.
Oh.
So however you want to word it, it just wasn't like a known thing that this was my man. Why are you smiling?
I'm just listening to you.
But yeah, so like I had too much pride to like post about the sad part because everyone would be like, where'd that come from, right? But if I was in like a serious committed relationship and I was brokenhearted, oh my God, I so would have been that person. I know I would have. Now a different story.
Why is it different now? Too old for this shit?
Yeah, it's just like some things are meant to be private, but I guess it's also like if I don't like looking at this other people's stuff, then that means I shouldn't post it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if I can't handle it, reading it, then I shouldn't be the one doing it as well. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I mean, kind of.
But yeah, I don't know. I think there's also a layer of pride as well.
Pride or ego?
I guess you could say both.
Do you have friends or family members that are super like open about all their shit?
Not in an annoying level. Like I think everyone, like all the cousins that I can think of, even my sister, they're probably even more private than I would be in a relationship. I think I probably would post pictures of my person more often than they do, but they're also not big social media people either. Mm-hmm. So their posts are very infrequent in comparison.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, before we get to me, what's your opinion on people that make it all public and stuff about it?
So it annoys the shit out of me.
But goddamn, it's addicting.
Yes, but then on the other side, I'm like, ooh, tell me more.
I think it's, and it's funny because even if you don't know them that well, at the same time you do, because they post everything on their story or on their pages. So you're like, oh, he's been dating this person for like 6 months.
Yeah, well, and I think it's really unfair to bring the public in your relationship for all the beautiful moments you've had, and then you break up and you don't tell us why. Like, how dare happened? You? I am invested in this commitment. I need to know why it ended.
I'm trying to think. I wasn't too really public. The only time I will admit I have subtweeted in the past with with my ex, and I would mostly bitch and complain where people could put two and two together.
Yeah.
But I would never like tag them. I've never tagged like a significant other and be like, you bitch, like you broke my heart at this person. Like, that's too much for me.
Yeah.
That's just ratchet.
I feel like I don't like the emotional posts. If you want to share your experience of how you grew from this relationship and like the hard times and whatever happened afterwards, and like everyone has those moments in life, that's different. I'm okay with that. But when you get like the super fucking dramatic attention seeking posts, I can't handle that. And I've had like, there was not too long ago, I saw a post on social media of a random stranger and I was so turned off. And it was like it was some picture that it was just a very vague picture, and then you didn't really know what the picture was about based off of the picture until you read the caption, and it was some sappy ass emotional post about their breakup, and it's just like, write that in your diary. Then when you're out of the emotion, if you want to bring it up, okay, bring it up in a very logical, like, I overcame something kind of way. I can't handle the like Dear Diary entries.
I think it's comforting for some people. I think they feel the need that they need to share that, and maybe it gives them some sort of validation. But for what? We all laughing at you anyway, baby.
I know.
Like, we all like, look at this dumb bitch, or look at this dumb fuck right here.
Yeah.
Like, you done gotten played.
Yeah, I just feel like, I guess my approach to social media, like I share stories all the time, but it's more so there's like a lesson or something that came from it. I'm not sharing the heartbreak that I'm currently feeling.
I think also some people like the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right this time?
Yeah. What did you say last time?
Vulnerable?
Yeah, he said vulnerability.
Vulnerability? So vulnerable?
I don't even, I can say it right now. Vulnerability.
Yeah, I think people like to see that. People like to see people get hurt. They just don't like to admit it. That's why we watch sad movies, and that's why we watch sad shows.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be more fascinating when it's someone that we know.
I also can't stand those relationships where they post like all the flowers, all the jewelry, all the car, whatever, right? Like from a girl's perspective. All the shit that their man does for them, like every single day. Like, good for you, right? Okay, like, why does everything need to be documented? Why does every date night need to be documented?
Damn, who hurt you?
It's annoying.
No, it is annoying.
It's too much. You're overcompensating for something. It makes me think your relationship is not as perfect as you're trying to portray it to be.
Well, it ties back in is people show you what they want to show you.
Yeah.
Unless you really have those people that just literally no fucks in the wind, just post every single thing, better or worse, take it or leave it.
That is true. I just feel like, I think people confuse my social media because I've definitely been judged for being open about certain relationships. In a way, like, I'm not super open about relationships. Now we have this podcast, so I can only imagine what those people would think of this. But I don't think what they understand is I'm sharing what I want you to know, but there is so much more that I have not told you. You know what I mean?
I'm way more fucked up than you realize.
No, but it's like much bigger than that. It's like when I'm telling everyone and all you, like, it doesn't hurt me to share.
Yeah.
So that's not sharing. And if you're worried about getting with me and you think I'm going to expose you, it's probably because you're a fucking douchebag, because I don't really expose anyone unless they're a douchebag.
Yeah, you got to ask for it if you're being exposed.
Yeah.
God, I love that fucking messy shit though when people are exposed with that.
There was a girl on Facebook that I don't know her current situation now, and I don't recall what, like, if it was like a baby daddy or if it was a boyfriend or husband, I don't remember. But they broke up, and she took a picture of his trash bags of his clothes outside and then posted like a caption. I think he was an addict. I don't remember exactly what, but it was like the details of this relationship and how he fucked up and she was so hurt. And everyone's posting under there like, don't do this, you're better than this, blah, blah, blah. And she was like getting at them, like basically saying, fuck off, don't read it if you want. Part of me was just like, ooh, I want to know how this happened. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Not going to say that. I've been petty before, so I might do that in my future. But it's also like, at what level of hurt does that boundary cross where you really air the dirty laundry? Like, really?
What ties into you want people to feel sorry for you?
I don't know if it's that. I don't think it's so much wanting people to feel sorry for you. I think it's you don't want to feel like you're crazy. like you made this all up. Like you want people, like, because I say this from experience in that it is a validation, but a validation of like, I wasn't the only one that made this up in my head. I was treated this way. This person was terrible. And because, like, think about it. When you're in a toxic relationship, there are many times where people don't take your side for whatever reason. Especially, let's say they're abusive, for example. An abusive person, man or woman, you don't see the abuse in the public. So that abuse that's happening is behind the public, and the abuser is manipulating the public, and they look like this great person. So when you finally get to tell your story, you want everyone to hear it because you want to be validated that you didn't fucking make this up and you didn't deserve this. And obviously you can tell I have some experience in this situation, but that's how I see those traumatic ones. It's not so much pity, more so like, here's my time to finally like show that I wasn't the bad person.
I didn't think of it that way. And that's crazy because it's true. People can modify their perception to others. So then when the shit does hit the fan, it can work really for you or really against you.
Yeah. I know.
Because it's like, oh no, it could never be her. It could never be him.
Yeah.
Like they're this person. They're a staple of our community or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of shame that goes into being in those toxic relationships. And like, just think about the mental place that people go through. Like, they almost think they deserve it. They've made excuses for their partner. They like didn't realize their worth. And then the public kind of almost not realizing it supported this because everyone loved them or whatever.
What about those people that, so on the other end of the spectrum, that they post all the good shit that happens to them?
It's just too much.
It's just to rub it in though?
No. I think people that over post about their relationships and how perfect it is, they're either trying to convince themselves that it's that perfect, or they're trying to be envied because they think they want people to think it's that perfect. It's kind of like, let's say you don't really have any money, but you're always post your designer shit, and really you're maxed out on credit cards. You want people to think that you have all this money and that you live this kind of life, but really you don't even have a pot to piss in. Like, that's kind of how I see it. It's like you're overcompensating for the truth.
It sounds like you pretty much described my 20s.
I think everyone at some point kind of went through that phase of like
God.
Not understanding their identity. It's okay to like not look or have a certain thing.
And just buy everything. Buying shit makes you feel better.
How about like those relationships that post how great it is, but you know the truth and it is so toxic?
I think that is the worst, is when you literally know how bad it is.
Yeah.
But on social media, they're just like, oh, look at us. We went to the park today with our dog.
Yeah.
When they don't know that, you know, you burned each other with a cigarette in the car on the way to the park.
Yep.
That, I think, that's a whole nother, I think that's like a mental thing where you are literally so stuck in a fantasy that you're living in that you have to keep this facade for people that ultimately don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
At least in that aspect. So you hide everything that's perfect. You don't have a perfect relationship. Nobody has a perfect relationship. So, and I mean, and I'm not speaking about anybody in particular. I think of this more maybe like celebrities or social media personalities, like on YouTube.
Well, I wonder if they're also posting to make the other person happy. Almost like a declaration of how much I love you makes I hope to make you forget about how bad everything is. You know?
Maybe that's how it is with like YouTube people, where, you know, we have to post this video to make our money anyway, so fuck it, we'll just fake it. We'll fake it till we make it.
Social media, YouTube, all this stuff is so crazy of how much you can fake whatever it is you want, because just in the last like year, there have been one big time bodybuilder, another one not so big bodybuilder, but he's a professional. And it has come out that they are physical abusers. Like, the images, the stories are so, like, you can't even create it in a movie. And their profiles, they look like angels. They love their partner. They're queen. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane how much you can just portray of, like, being a different person.
It's just fascinating because you just see how how crazy people are. People are fucking crazy.
They really are crazy.
Like, it's just insane. Do you think in your next relationship, are you going to establish parameters on what you share and what you don't share? Or are you going to let it flow naturally? Or are you going to try and keep it private until you know it's a real thing? What do you think you yourself are going to do?
Well, for me personally, and this is how it's always been, until they're a committed relationship, no, they don't get posted. And it's not like a thing I verbally said. It's just how I move. Like, until I know for sure I want to be with you, you want to be with me, we make it a thing, there's no reason for me to post about it, because guess what? If it doesn't work out, I got to take all those pictures down and then there's a new guy. Like, no, we don't need to do that. But I think once in the relationship, my only, I think, conversation that I would have would be regarding like the podcast. Like, what would they be uncomfortable with me talking about? Because I'm going to talk about it. Like, they're not going to be hidden. I'm going to talk about it. They're going to know about this. They're going to have to deal with it. But I would respect the boundaries of what would make them feel uncomfortable.
I don't talk about like our sex life or arguments or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything that, I didn't think of the podcast, or like if you're on the radio or something, is there anything that you would override? Like, no, I need this anyway. This is what I do. Like, maybe, like, don't talk about our fights. Like, oh, I'm going to talk about our fights anyway because it's good material.
I think if there's something we laugh about later, that something would be free to share. So, like, if you have a fight, right? And then...
Would you run it by them first or no?
Probably not. Because again, the way I work in my own life, my partner would have to be fairly similar. And then I laugh at a lot of things after the fact. So, sure, we had a fight. Not all fights, right? Not all fights you laugh about. But let's say it's a stupid fight over, like, who's putting the dishes away, and you get into a legit argument about this. That's a stupid argument. After the fact, we're probably laughing about it at some point. So for me, that's a conversation that could be shared, because I probably would tell my friends and my family in front of him. Because that's just funny.
What if he didn't like it?
Well, we will definitely need to talk about that, because that person probably doesn't have the same sense of humor as I do.
And then that's our red flag.
Yeah, that's a red flag, because I find a lot of things funny. I don't take too many things seriously, so I need someone very similar to that.
What about opposites attract, though? You could find a very, very serious person that never laughs at anything. And maybe that balances you out.
Then how would I even be attracted to them?
I don't know. You have a whole checklist of problems, so...
Oh, I have a whole checklist of problems. At least I'm working through my checklist. You're just acting like you're aware of them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fuck it.
He has like his sunglasses on, looking at the sun. I can see my problems. Okay.
As my corneas get burned out of my eyes.
I can see it all. I have to do this, but I can see it. But what about you? Like, what kind of limitations would you put around your relationship as far as being public?
I think real similar to you. It would need to be somebody relatively like firm and official.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty open. Like, a part of me. Like, for example, my son's all over my social media.
Yeah.
He's all over my profile, so everybody knows I have a kid. I bring it up. My mom is on my profile. My siblings are on my profile. I don't really have, like, an Instagram facade or an Instagram persona.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when a girl comes in, same thing. I wouldn't have a problem posting her. I mean, ultimately, it's still my profile. It's not our profile.
Oh.
And I think that's a big thing. Just like my son's not on every single post with me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect my girl, and I would hope she wouldn't expect to be on there. But at the same, I don't know. I say that now, but then also I really love taking pictures.
Yeah.
So I take hundreds of pictures of my kid. I take pictures of my nieces and my nephews. Myself, I take a ton of that. So I think if I was in a relationship with someone, I would probably take a lot of pictures of them, and maybe I would want to post them, but look at my girl.
Yeah.
I might be like Chance the Rapper, like, I love my wife. Do you know who Chance the Rapper is?
No.
She's 33.
What about on the podcast? What wouldn't you want to talk about? But also, what would you accept if she didn't want to talk about and you didn't necessarily agree?
That would be tough. Because it's one thing with pictures, there's a lot of, it's really open to interpretation. With with this, especially me, I'm a fucking talker. Literally, my Instagram handle is about me talking.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's about speaking, you know.
Yeah.
So I would have to really sit down and be like, what do you want me to? Because for me, everything's a free for all.
Yeah. So you would
True.
talk if you didn't have that conversation to run it by her. You would just openly talk about your sex life and your arguments and your good stuff too.
Probably, I probably might not maybe hide a couple details or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I couldn't get it up or something, I'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I couldn't get it up. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. You know,
You would share that?
probably. I don't know. I say that now.
Yeah.
Unless if it was like a traumatic situation where it's like, oh shit, homegirl's really mad that I couldn't get it up.
Yeah.
But maybe I say that. But then again, I don't know, because I don't really share a lot. I don't know. Maybe I would think.
I don't think you'd be too detailed because you're not detailed when you tell me your stories now.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless like you have to be.
I think a big thing is it goes back to with the podcast. While I do this for myself and I do this for you and we do this for fun, I also try to think, what do the listeners want to listen to?
Yeah.
And they don't want to hear that I fucking got in a huge argument because my girlfriend doesn't separate my fucking sock drawer by black socks and white socks. They don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
They might want to know,
I
though.
feel like they want to hear me complain about it, though.
Maybe, or maybe, but who knows? Maybe they want to hear if I fucking was the little engine that couldn't hold his load, and maybe they might think that's funny.
They would.
But there's definitely a fine aspect on that. But I definitely would, especially if I really cared for this guy. I'd be like, hey, you tell me, like I would tell right off the bat, similar to you, like, hey, I have this podcast. It's about bitching about being single. At the same time, self-love.
Let's say, do you really think about bitching?
No, we're not bitching.
I guess it depends on what we're talking about.
But I would tell her, I was like, this is what I do. Like, for better or worse, like right now, this is like a second job.
Yeah.
And, you know, something I enjoy doing. But, you know, sometimes it involves me being open about things. Are you cool with this?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I would tell her, you don't have a choice in the podcast. I'm going to do it regardless.
Yeah.
And if you just leave me, then that's just more ammo for me to I have more material. Congratulations. But on a serious note, I would just tell, like, hey, like, is there anything you don't want me to talk about? Who knows? If I really cared for a girl, like, why don't you sit here and watch us record?
Yeah.
And see how we work and see what you think.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who knows? Who knows? If it's just some girl I'm dating around, like, yeah, I'll talk about how you want.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Leave me? Okay, leave me.
Yeah.
If not, you're just going to be like, what the fuck? We don't name names on this podcast.
This is very true. We don't. Only you would know.
Yeah. Only you would know. So,
yeah.
Or sometimes we can combine little stories if we have to protect people. Because that's ultimately what we do. Or at least I do. I don't think you embellish. Sometimes I'll embellish a little bit. Not to make it more entertaining, but just because there is people out there that might listen that might feel some type of way, might get their feelings hurt. So I might have to change a detail or two, but, you know, you get the general gist of it.
Yeah.